comic book fans, welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. Now, we had quite the big week for comics, even though not that many big name titles were coming out. But enough about that, let's get on to the pick of the week. From Vertigo Comics and Neil Gaiman and Pete Craig Russell, we have Sandman, The Dream Hunters, number 3. Now, in the past few issues, the monk and the fox have been having little, will they, won't they, get together type of phase, but the fox obviously loves the monk and wants to save him from a bad dream. So, this bad dream that the monk's supposed to have, where he dies because he unlocks a black box in the dream, the fox takes in his place. Therefore, she dies and sacrifices her life for his, because she loves him that much. But the monk doesn't want this. He wants to have that dream for himself. He doesn't want the fox to give her life for his. So we follow the monk as he travels through all these gorgeous, gorgeous pages full of art. Not full of art, but, the sceneries, the jungles, the deserts. The art that Pete Craig Russell did on this issue is just mind-blowing. Like, this is probably the main reason I picked this as my pick of the week this week, was because of the mind-blowing art. Anyway, so finally the monk comes to this beautiful castle and gets to have audience with the King of Dreams. The King of Dreams then grants the monk permission to see the fox one last time, because he did the right thing and said, hey, no, this is my dream. I should be the one who takes it. And so he grants him a few minutes alone together before the monk dies in his dream. And so in that free time, they make love. And, it's kind of weird because it's a monk. He has that whole, hey, I'm gonna stay away from wine, women, and drugs types of deals. So I thought it was a very great issue. It's just one more issue left, and like I was saying before, Pete Craig Russell's art is just really what made this for me. And it is just so gorgeous. Every little page, every little detail. The first couple of pages, there's just no words. It's all art. It's all being told through the art. Anyway, brilliant book. Neil Gaiman, Pete Craig Russell, pat yourselves on the back because you're doing an excellent job on this Vertigo title. Now, on to the Fast Five. First up, from Dark Horse Entertainment, we have Hellboy, The Wild Hunt, number 2. Now, in the previous issue, we found out that Hellboy was actually the victim of the Wild Hunt, and he gets a spear jabbed through his back. And it's kind of just gruesome because I'm sticking that right there. But anyway, when he comes to, he realizes that when he was out, someone's mistress cloaked him, so he's invisible. While the hunting party gets killed by the giants that they were originally supposed to hunt. And Hellboy really wants to know, well, does this charm really work? So he throws away the invisibility charm, and sure enough, the giants can see him, and that's kind of more his thing, is beating up on giants. So we get this beautiful couple of pages of Hellboy battling giants, and then we get a little backstory on one of these characters that we saw in issue 1, and turns out there's a little continuity in this Hellboy. All the way back to the chained coffin, the same troll who was posing as a baby. Anyway, really fun stuff, and there's 6 issues left, so make sure you're picking up this Hellboy title. Next up, from Marvel, we have The Punisher number 1. Now, this is being written by Rick Remender, and it's an all-new Punisher series. In this issue, Norman Osborn is in the crosshairs of the Punisher from 4 miles away, because, Frank Castle has that nice Super Skrull-powered sniper rifle that can shoot objects from 4 miles away. But turns out he's been, he had all other 8 Avengers or Thunderbolts planned if anything were to happen. But he didn't expect the Sentry as a guard. It was a very Superman versus Batman-esque battle. From, superhero can't hurt him, to Batman, who is just pretty much defenseless. But Frank Castle gets him. He says, "Hey, by the way, there's a bomb in that hospital over there." And then he makes his way. But it was really fun. It was written by Rick Remender. Punisher's always good, and there's so many Punisher titles out this year that why not just jump on board and for all that Frank Castle goodness. Next up, from Avatar, we have No Hero number 3. Now, in the past few issues, we followed Joshua Carver, as he's this vigilante, wants the drug that makes everyone a superhero. And he says, I'll do anything for it, straight edge, which kind of makes Carrick's people kind of wondering about him and worried about him, because they're like, whoa, this kid's straight edge, and he took the drug, no problem. And Carrick says, no, he just wanted that badly. But anyway, he puts him in the room of nightmares because in order for the drug to take effect, he has to have lots of stress and high adrenaline levels. Sure enough, the drug plus the room of nightmares makes him see all these fucked up images. And believe me, you get 3 whole pages full of fucked up images. And I've been enjoying this title, Warren Ellis, and another issue of beautiful artwork by Juan Jose Ripe. It's all good. I can't wait to see what happens next. Next up from Marvel, we have Submariner, The Depths, number 4. Now, last issue, Dr. Stein and the crew went to the Mariana Trench and found out that the whole crew was slaughtered. And in this issue, they find the submarine that got away, hoping to find some life on there. Sure enough, the crew there is slaughtered as well, except for Captain Marlowe. He was hiding out the entire time because he's a big pansy. Keeps telling Stein that he saw Atlantis and they're so close now they can't go back. Stein looks at the footage that he took, and sure enough, he did find Atlantis. And Stein's kind of pissed about that because he was looking for Atlantis, and this could undo all 200 years worth of scientific work. So as he's trying to burn the tape, there's a big brawl with Marlowe that ensues, and then sure enough, at the very last page, standing in the doorway, we finally see Namor in the flesh. And it is so great. Asad Ribick's art on this is just so fantastically mind-blowing, people. If you don't like Namor, pick it up for the art alone. You will not be disappointed. This is one of the creepiest stories in comics I've read this past year, and only one more issue left. What's Namor gonna do? It's crazy, people. Crazy! And finally this week we have from Devil's Due Publishing, Rest number 2. Now the whole thing I like about this series is the whole possibility of what happens if there was a microchip that if you inserted it in your skull, you never needed to sleep again. Imagine all the things you could get accomplished. Like they talk about in this issue, scientists could, without sleep, create all these new things, doctors 24/7. But well, what about if people, go out and buy food because they're eating 24/7? Not to worry. This also acts as a diet-inducing chip as well. So as John Barrett, the guy who has the chip, as he's going to Cairo as being the walking billboard of, see, I can do anything. Where are the nightclubs? See, 24/7. People other companies try to kill him to get the chip, but sure enough, he has a guardian angel. But after that little brush with death, he wants out of the program. He loves the whole not sleeping 24/7. But if people are trying to kill him, let's just step back a moment and reassess the situation. So I've been really liking this title. It's been really thought-provoking and, makes you think. Hence, thought-provoking. Well, fans, that does it for Camy's Comic Corner this week. If you want more Camy's Comic goodness, go ahead and go to www.camyscomiccorner.com. From there, you can subscribe to us on RSS feed or on iTunes. Also, while you're there, you can go and chat on the forums. And believe me, we have quite a few threads on the forums this past week. One of them being Mogo, the Green Lantern, versus Ego, the now Nova Centurion debate going on. So, go cast your vote on who you think would win in a fight. And we have other stuff to talk about. You can talk about the longest thread ever, talk about whatever's on your mind in that thread, etc. Also, if you like the t-shirt, like the threads, as they say in the streets that I'm wearing, go head on over to www.deadlinegraphics.net and send Kelly an email. A couple new shirts this week. We have some more Blackest Night t-shirts coming out because that's what's happening in 2009, people. The Blackest Night. So, you want to get your paws on this and be the cool kid at the comic shop before this event even happens. Also, some new additions. We have a Scalp t-shirt, an Umbrella Academy t-shirt, and an Air t-shirt, all inspired by my 2008 Best of show. So head on over there, ask Kelly for a catalog. He'll send you plenty of them, and then you can shop to your heart's content. Also, they have a deal going on right now. For January, if you buy any t-shirt, you get the second one for half off. So that's quite the t-shirt deal. I'm getting my orders this weekend, and I suggest you do too, because there's only one name I trust when it comes to comic book t-shirts, and that's Kelly, over at www.deadlinegraphics.net. Well, comic book fans, I hope you had fun this week. I certainly did. Until next Friday, I've been Cammy. This has been Camy's Comic Corner, and I wish you all adieu.